The 2K Sports Pregame Show, sponsored by Kia.
This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here. Welcome, everybody. We have the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great, in some minds, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Phoenix Suns. Well, for the Suns, well into the mid-season now, and they're third from the bottom of the Western Conference. That would indicate there haven't been many strides made by a team that finished in just about that same spot a year ago. And the Suns have gone back to their up-tempo style, a lot of 7 seconds or less type of play last season. Is this a good look for them?
Well, it's part of franchise history. Started with Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, the Brazilian Blur. You know, it happened especially in their most successful era. You know, they've proven that when you play big games at the up-tempo style, you can win a lot of games like that.
And I'm older than you, Shaq, so it was even with Kevin Johnson. It was Oh, yeah, no question. Paul Westphal, back in those days, and the Van Arsdale brothers. I mean, this is there's been a history of playing in the Valley of the Sun, up-tempo, and they're doing it again this year.
Do you think I can toss to Kevin Harlan in 7 seconds or less?
You should
be able to.
Well, count it down for me.
7, 6.
Now time to go to Kevin Harlan
4
as they get ready
3, 2,
for the opening
1.
tip.
Everyone is in their seat here in the arena as the Suns look to grab a hometown win in Phoenix. This is Kevin Harlan at the table alongside Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge from the sideline. Last game for the Hawks, it was a loss to the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I had the chills watching that. It really was a nightmare defensively for them when you go into that building and get punished by some very hot shooting.
You know, I like a defense to play physical, particularly when hot shooters are trying to be cooled off. They never got physical.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Well, Kevin, we know here in Atlanta, Mike Budenholzer has assumed the dual role of coach and GM of the Atlanta Hawks. It's a tough task, but he can draw on the experience in San Antonio. And Greg Popovich has a similar role. Like Pop, Coach Bud makes sure to listen to his differing opinions and empower the staff. Kevin?
He's done a terrific job, Dave. Thank you. And tonight's topic, the 7-game playoff series. You look at college, the one-and-done format does add some suspense. Instant elimination. But Doris, would you like to see the NBA shorten the length of any of the playoff series?
No, you know, Kevin, as you know, there was a time in the NBA where the early rounds were 5 games, so you only had to win 3. To be honest with you, I think the best measure of a series is who is the best of 7. I like the format. I know that we need to figure out maybe the starting date as moving that back a little bit earlier, but I like the playoff series as is.
If it is a 7-game series, it to me gives legitimacy. That's the team that should be moving on.
There's no question about it.
A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Schroeder and Bazemore pair up at the point in off-guard spots. Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Paul Millsap. And it's Howard in at the 5 spot. And here's Schroeder after Devin Booker getting his shot to go from deep. Bledsoe against Schroeder. Hardaway kicks to Millsap. Stolen by Warren. Goes up on the top of the key. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good.
You know, as a defender, you have to play Bledsoe to drive it to the rack. So the pull-up J is such a valuable tool in his arsenal.
Now, here's Bazemore. He's coming off a 10-point game against Golden State. Here's Howard. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Howard's got his second basket of the game. Here's the Suns with the ball. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
And talk about a team that just never seemed to get into a rhythm offensively. It was just an ugly game to watch.
You know, their defense was good enough to win, actually. It was just that their offense was unfocused, disconnected, wouldn't work.
And he just elevates and powers in the one-hander.
Textbook. Len with the block. Booker outside. Len's shot is off.
And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively.
And the call will be against Alex Len. That's his first foul.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. Howard's shot is good.
Howard really brings it on the offensive glass, using that wide wingspan to come up with those loose balls.
Booker outside. Pass to Chris. Inside. And the dunk by Len.
You know, the basket is good, but it's all about the assist there. That pass led him to just the right spot on the floor.
Down low. Here's Schroeder. No good. Bledsoe with the defensive effort. Suns leading by 3. Pass to Chris. Booker in the corner. Passes it to Chris, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
You know, for a first guy early in his career, Booker's been tremendous finding the open man.
Screen by Howard. Outside Millsap. Traps in the tray. Millsap's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from 3.
Bledsoe kicks to Len. The pass to Chris. Booker in the corner. Here's the screen. Bazemore grabs the miss. For Atlanta, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. And it's Schroeder missing.
Ooh, that's stifling defense. Excellent effort.
Schroeder against Bledsoe. Booker outside. Jacks up a 3. But they get it back. Out to the wing. Bledsoe right side. And stolen by Bazemore. That's tipped. Up the floor. And Millsap stabs it in.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
Yeah, and he's not going to let an opportunity like that get away. I mean, he's just going to go hard to the bucket.
Bledsoe passes to Booker. Schroeder dishes to Bazemore. He feeds it to Millsap. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. Phoenix has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter.
Well, the NC State product, right? T.J. Warren, you like what he can do on the offensive end, and more importantly, how efficiently he does it. Rarely puts himself in a bad spot or takes a bad shot.
Here's Schroeder. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Warriors in Oakland.
And don't forget about his playmaking in that game either. I mean, he did a great job of attacking the D and creating opportunities for both himself and his teammates.
Howard. Offensive rebound. Rejected by Len. Bledsoe with 14 points from him the last game against Denver. And with Warren, he's efficient and still doing everything he can to improve his game, Doris, and add to his offensive skills.
Well, I think, Kevin, you know, the three-pointer has already made big jumps for him. Pretty much double the rate he takes them between his first and second seasons. And you like the work ethic he's shown while recovering from injury. You just hope he can stay healthy.
Pass to Chris. Booker outside. Dishes it to Warren. They need this one. Atlanta with the rebound. Howard's got 3 rebounds now in this one. To the left wing. Hardaway from outside. Here's Millsap. Plays it up and banks it in. Millsap's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Gotta believe they'll hear about it in that next time out. They have to box out better.
Now here's Bledsoe. The scoring numbers have been solid for him. He's averaging just under 14 points a game.
Beautiful mid-range jumper. Just knows how to use his size advantage to get that shot off.
The Suns shooting their first free throw of the game right now.
And as a team, really just middle of the pack in terms of their percentage from the line at about 76.
One shot.
That's good from Chris.
Since the departure of Mike D'Antoni back in 2008, it's been a true coaching carousel in Phoenix. 5 coaches in 8 seasons? That is not exactly the kind of stability you want to establish an identity for a young team.
The feed to Hardaway. Howard kicks to Millsap. 6 to shoot. Hardaway. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Jeff Hornacek was let go by the Suns midway through last season. It didn't take him long the doors to find a new gig with the New York Knicks.
Well, the word in Phoenix was that he'd lost the locker room, Kevin, and I'm not sure he was the problem with the dysfunction there. And now Earl Watson at the helm, a former player, 13-year vet. You know, we'll see. Can he have a long tenure in Phoenix?
Good on both. Doris, a lot of great young players come into the NBA. Which do you think could be the best in the league in a few years?
Well, I think certainly Anthony Davis comes to mind because of how skilled he is. We were talking earlier about the 5 position, how it's changing. You know, you've got Anthony Davis who's now stretched his range to 3-point. He's got mid-range game. He can go back to the basket. He's dynamic in the open floor and a real presence on the defensive end. I can't wait to see what happens with Anthony Davis.
Or somebody taught him well when he was young because his handle's good and he plays almost the position like a point guard.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think that's the key. I think he played that position earlier in his career because he had that great growth spurt. But I think Anthony Davis, you know, it's about the skills certainly, but it's about the work ethic and the IQ, and he's got the whole package.
Smart kid. Bledsoe against Schroeder. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And Doris, by now, most of us have heard the nickname Mini LeBron for Eric Bledsoe, and it's an apt name out there. He's just so strong on both ends of the floor.
But I think, Kevin, you love Bledsoe's strength per pound. It's unparalleled almost in the league. Probably as strong as some players who have a full foot in height on him. Makes him one of the most unique players in the NBA.
First free throw is good.
You know, when he started out in his career, he was a little bit inconsistent at the free throw line. But now, Bledsoe, not a guy you want to put at the charity stripe.
The Hawks making a switch here. Calderon's checked in. Both good from the line that time. And last season was cut short for Bledsoe, if you remember. Went down with a torn meniscus that kept him out for about half the season. Doors that really put the nail in the coffin for the Phoenix Suns season.
And I think, Kevin, a tough blow for Bledsoe, who had looked to take another jump in terms of his productivity. Knee injury scary for point guards, and so you're happy the Suns took their time with Bledsoe. You know, he's got the type of game that lends itself to collisions and falling because he attacks the rim, so let's hope he avoids that in the future.
Phoenix, no good that time either. The Hawks leading by 5. Here's Hardaway. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. The Suns have gone 6 of 14 shooting the ball since the start of the game. Bledsoe against Calderon. Glenn a screen. Here's Booker. Shot is good off the back rim and in. Booker's got his second bucket of the night.
With that now, only 2 of 7 to start the game. Not the start he was hoping for.
Calderon passes to Howard. Glenn grabs the board.
All the credit goes to the defense, preventing a terrific finisher like that from throwing it down.
And here's Booker from the arc. Again, the miss by Booker.
And this is the thing. They're trying to battle back, but his erratic shooting is really hurting.
That doesn't go either for Hardaway. Suns trail by 5. Here's Chris. Drops in the layup for 2. Chris has got 7 points.
Well, that's an unselfish player who definitely wants to get his teammates involved. A willing passer there, Booker.
Bazemore dishes to Calderon. Kicks it to Howard. Millsap inside. He's covered by Warren. Millsap misses.
You're always surprised when he misses that kind of look, whether the defense is on him or not.
Here's Chris. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Millsap. And a look now at the 4 areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for the Hawks.
And not a lot of attempts from beyond the break. Those deeper three-pointers can be a little outside of some players' range, but they've got guys who can make that shot. I think that's just an outlier so far.
Phoenix calls timeout. Greg, the Atlanta Hawks, a disciplined team. They've got the right coach in Mike Budenholzer. Wouldn't you agree?
I really do. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Offensively, they move the ball and they make the simple play. And defensively, they deny in transition and avoid cheap fouls. They really don't beat themselves.
A platoon swap here for Phoenix. And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Howard. Muscala comes in for Paul Millsap. Dunleavy's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And Thabo Sefolosha subbed in for Kent Bazemore. Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. You look at Chicago. They've got the #1 record in the conference, and because of it, each night out, their competition is going to bring it right at them. And, of course, the Hawks, a few slots below them.
And I think for the Hawks, they've done a good job staying relevant this season. I mean, I was concerned they'd suffer a drop-off, but give them credit. They've hung in here in this playoff race.
The resiliency has been crucial for this team. Anytime it looks like they may start to drag a little bit, they've picked it back up and stayed in the hunt.
Suns trail by 3. Here's Barbosa. 11 points for him in that last game against Denver. Bender kicks tonight. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Puts it up from 15. Atlanta with the rebound. Now here is Sefolosha. Out left to the wing. Dunleavy for 3. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Knight against Calderon. Al Bender, quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Phoenix needs to get off a shot. With 3, Barbosa. That doesn't go, and he's 0 of 1 from the field. The Hawks leading by 6. Here's Muscala, powered down with both hands.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Knight picks to Barbosa. Chandler with the screen on Calderon. On deep. It's hauled in by Ilyasova. Atlanta's gone 4 of 7 from three-point range so far in the first. Sefolosha kicks to Muscala. To the paint. The dish now to Calderon. Feeds it to Muscala. Dunleavy the pass to Sefolosha. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Knight. Here's Chandler. And the bucket counts. And he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
Now, this guy's a voracious rebounder on both ends. Tyson Chandler literally inhales missed shots. You know, I'm amazed Tyson Chandler still provides great rim protection. He still has that incredible length with that standing reach, can bother shots just by going straight up. And as a veteran, he knows exactly what he can and can't get away with when assigned to slow down an opposing big man.
And Chandler's certainly terrific defensively. He's won a Defensive Player of the Year in his career. Even if age has slowed him down a little bit, it doesn't negate just how great a defender he is.
Yeah, I think, Kevin, that's because Chandler, one of the smartest defending big men you'll ever see. He doesn't get baited by pump fakes, doesn't get caught out of position over helping from the weak side. The numbers aren't the same, obviously, as when he was blocking a ton of shots, but he makes an impact on your defense.
The Hawks have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
And their success rate on the season, right around 77%.
Both free throws good for Ilyasova. 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Now here is Barbosa. Covered by Cephalosha. Barbosa dishes to Dudley. Another shot. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Always highly regarded. Knight tore up the high school ranks, led Kentucky to a Final Four, drafted top 10, and his arrow is still pointing up.
The Suns shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Hits them both.
Well, he's just got terrific touch of the line. We've seen that over and over again.
The Hawks leading by 5. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. They set the pick. Calderon kicks to Cephalosha. 11 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Three seconds left. Bender with the bucket. Bender's got his first points of the night.
The D looks helpless to defend Bender, a remarkable player who hits shots with a hand in his face all the time.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Hawks ahead, leading by 3. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. And Tyson Chandler, known for being a great teammate, a very vocal leader certainly. He talked about how important that is for an NBA locker room.
Players do the policing. Coach sets a standard, but players individually call out other players. You know, whether it be timeout, whether it be halftime, whether it be pulling guys to the side, you know, in practice. When you have that going on, you see multiple guys doing that, that's when you know you have a good team.
Don't you need a player like this, of Chandler's caliber and character, Greg, to make that kind of a teamwork? You know, have that feel in the locker room, that leadership role that everybody believes in and respects?
No doubt about it, Kevin. And that weighty stature is built on experience and credentials, as you mentioned, like having that championship ring or being an all-star. But when you have it and use it that way, the coach doesn't have to worry about the locker room because Chandler has got that covered.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And what do you guys think about the Hawks here in this one?
It's just been a long-range battle for them and one that they're winning right now.
Their biggest advantage could be their fearlessness. Maybe a bad shot once in a while, but these guys have range and they know it.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for Atlanta, we've got Dunleavy. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Cephalosha. Then it's Ilyasova, and it's Muscala in at the 4 slot. And the second free throw, good.
You know, the Phoenix Suns, of course, with that renowned training staff, we've seen players like Grant Hill, Shaquille O'Neal extend their careers in the Suns uniform. And that training staff couldn't fend off the injuries last season, though. That really took a toll on this group.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Schroeder. Now a look at the hottest teams in the league. These squads have knocked down everything in the last 10 games. The 4th spot held by the Hawks.
Boy, they've been hot. You love to see this kind of offensive execution.
The Suns trailing. Here's Dudley. Here's Bender, and Bender throws it down.
That's just tremendous focus from Bender, just taking the hit and still knocking down the shot.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
And this season, he's maintained very good form at the line, shooting at about an 83% clip.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point. And Dragan Bender out of Croatia looking to follow in the footsteps of Porzingis as the next European big man to make an impact right out of the gates.
Yeah, and like Porzingis, I think he has a chance to be one of those guys that can spread the floor at the 5. A big man who can patrol the paint defensively and then stretch it on the offensive side of the floor.
And here's Ilyasova outside. Out of bounds. Phoenix will take possession.
All right, here's a look at stats for Schroeder. How last month turned out for him, averaging 13 points per game, 8 assists, and 2 rebounds. They're loving how he's running the show here. His sensational passing really breathing life into their offense.
Knight kicks to Bender. It's Leandro Barbosa on the way. Shoots from the baseline. Doesn't go that time. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Here's Schroeder. He dishes it to Muscala. Dunleavy for 3. Off the mark. His first miss of the game. 1 for 2. Suns have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Knight picks to Barbosa. Pass to Chandler. The shot from the low post is good. Chandler's got 5 points so far.
There's a guy who knows how to absorb contact and still maintain control. Chandler able to finish what he started.
There's the screen. Cephalosha kicks to Muscala. Deflects the pass. Here's Bender, and Bender throws it down.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
Yeah, you know, sometimes your gut tells you to take a shot at the pick and then big move to keep the pressure on.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Here's Schroeder. Brandon Knight picking up that last basket. Yep, it goes in, and the Suns' lead is cut down now to just 3 on the basket from Schroeder.
Boy, defender taken out of the play with a rock-solid screen. No way he's going to get through that.
Now here's Bender. 7 points in the game. The 3 from Dudley. Rebound by Ilyasova. Ilyasova's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, Chris Humphries was first one of the best rebounders in the league, and now, after a few years of tinkering with the jumper, he's become a pretty good shooting big man. After the 2015 playoffs, Wizards coach Randy Whitman suggested that Humphries work on his three-pointer. Humphries said, "I hadn't really worked on it ever. I just had to adapt. I went at it trying to expand my game so I can play longer." Kevin?
I'm sure we'll see a lot of players trying to add that 3, DA. Thank you.
Well, no threes for him in the second after drilling one in the first.
Here's Dudley, and it's good. Bumped through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
One shot.
You know, working hard on the offensive glass, and it pays off. You love to see that kind of tenacity on the boards.
And the Suns here with a different look. Len's checked in for Chandler. T.J. Warren comes in for Bender. Booker, he's checked in for Leandro Barbosa. And it's Eric Bledsoe in for Brandon Knight. And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Ilyasova. Millsap comes in for Muscala. Tim Hardaway Jr. is checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Thabo Sefolosha. Here's Howard, tipped away. Stolen by Len. Bledsoe kicks to Warren, and that one drops for him.
I think everyone expecting Bledsoe to perhaps force the issue, but he keeps his poise and finds the open man.
And there's the call on Devin Booker. That is his first foul of the game. The Suns making a switch here. Chris is checked in. So it's Atlanta now. 6-point game. Howard. That drops and it comes off the assist from Hardaway. Hardaway has got 4 assists now tonight.
And that's Howard's game. These interior looks that he puts in so easily.
Now here's Bledsoe. Glenn, a screen. Passes to Chris. Off the screen. And the Suns tack on 2 more.
Yeah, even he was surprised that shot fell. That was a crazy shot to make.
The Hawks trail by 6. And here's Schroeder. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. And that one's good. Millsap.
Moving it around. 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Bledsoe with it. Well, they talk about basketball IQ, Doris, all the time from a point guard and broadcaster perspective. How would you, I'd be interested in this, how would you define it?
You know, I think you can see a player who has played the game from their earliest. Like, I picked the game up at 7 years old when I moved next door to a park. And when you play the game from that young an age, there's just this natural understanding of the nuance of the game. Like, my son has played golf since the time he was 2 years old. He's been on a golf course. There's a nuance, there's a feel for it that you can't teach. It's been developed because it's been a part of who you are for such a long time.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
It couldn't have come at a better time. With the score being as close as it is, he had to make that play.
No good from Howard.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Here's Warren. And he gets that one to go off the front iron. Warren's got the lead up to 6 now for the Suns. And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. One thing you know you're getting with Alex Len is size. He's legit 7'1". He can be intimidating with his size on the floor. And he has some pretty easy moves for a player that size.
I think, Kevin, Len is continuing to find ways to make the most of his height and length. That spot-up jumper has a high release, very hard to bother that one. And he's just got to find consistency with that baby hook. Nobody is going to be able to get to that shot when he releases it.
And a chance now to review the shot chart.
And, guys, really the story for him has been his struggles from mid-range. I mean, some of them have been rushed. Others were just tightly contested. But he has to be a lot smarter on when to pull up or when to look for a teammate going forward in terms of winning this game.
The Hawks trail by 6. Schroeder kicks it to Bazemore. The pass to Howard. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. The Hawks again can't hit. Phoenix has gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. To the middle. Here's Warren. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. The Hawks have gone 6 of 11 from the floor. Over 50% shooting here in the second quarter. Millsap misses. Suns lead by 6. Pass to Bledsoe. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And certainly the early surprise of the 2015 draft class, Doris, is Devin Booker. Number 13 overall. He could end up being one of the top 2 or 3 players in the entire draft class.
Well, I think, Kevin, for Booker, a lot of people slept on him because of his college team. Came out of Kentucky, and that team was loaded with talent, headlined by Karl Anthony Towns. He was actually the 4th player off that team to be drafted. Insane that he went just 13th.
And he knocks down the first one. Jose Calderon. He's checked in for Dennis Schroeder. And Eric Bledsoe drops them both.
And the Hawks, you know, really an interesting situation. You go back 2 seasons ago, they had the best record in the East. Made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then last year, they showed some slippage. I mean, and pretty soon everything was in play. Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Chris can't hit. The Hawks trail by 8. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Booker in the corner. Here's Warren. He goes up again. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
And for the Hawks, trade talk swirling last season, GA. From role players to their star players, it seemed nothing was off the table.
Yeah, but credit them for having a great culture and chemistry in that locker room. That kind of uncertainty takes a toll on anyone, though. And they've done their best to try to keep some stability and a roadmap to further success.
And he's good on the second. Doris, you've worked with so many coaches in so many different ways throughout your career. You were a player and you were an assistant coach yourself, and as a broadcaster now. Do you ever see yourself maybe back on the sidelines?
Yeah, you know, that's how I started my career, Kevin. I've always thought that when my broadcasting career is over, I miss the competition. I miss working with a group of players to sort of achieve something special. So no question I see myself back there.
And it's Warren with the jam.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Now, here's Calderon. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Warriors in Oakland. And Howard with the second chance points. Howard's got 4 points this quarter.
And that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it?
Listen, we know this guy's gifted athletically. Bledsoe finishing strong off that dribble drive.
Here's Millsap. 20 points for him last game against the Warriors in Oakland.
And was a force on the defensive side as well. 4 steals over the course of that game.
Now here's Howard. 11-point game. 5 on the clock, and he uses the glass on the layup. Howard's got 12.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And the wide-open shot from Bledsoe. Bledsoe with another miss.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Here's Millsap, and a good offensive board, and he gets the bucket. 13 points in the game.
It's starting to look like a repeat of last night, guys. He's battling really hard out there.
Oh, he sure is. I mean, these past 2 games, his energy level has been sensational. Whether it's a putback like that or other hustle plays, he's been everywhere.
And he's trying to shoot his way out of it. You know, they have the lead, but honestly, I think it might help if he'd be a little bit more selective tonight.
And there it is for him.
He's got such soft touch around the rim. The D has to try to keep him out of the paint, because if he gets close, it's lights out.
Here's Booker. Coming in off a 21-point game his last outing. He kicks it to Bledsoe. Atlanta with the rebound. Howard's got his 6th rebound on the night. The Hawks trail by 5. This is to Bazemore. Good D by Booker. Calderon against Bledsoe. And it's sent back by Howard.
Yeah, and shooters have to be cautious with Howard around. He has such a long reach that he easily blocks those kinds of shots. Yeah, they've gone away from the triple as they look to protect this lead.
Here's Bazemore. The Suns getting the bucket. Screen by Howard. Here's Millsap. Len grabs the board. Len's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. And the shot by Warren, no good.
Boy, the defense did not make it easy for him, even though it was a solid attempt.
Hardaway, no good. Suns leading by 7. Warren kicks to Booker. Here's Bledsoe. Rebound by the Hawks. And this is their first time matched up with the Suns this season.
And it was a matchup you thought they would have cruised through, but they actually dropped the game in this series last year.
Calderon, and that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard. Calderon's got 5 points so far.
And I love how calm and collected Calderon was on that little finish inside.
Len, a screen. Pass to Chris. The shot that time, not on target. Great D that time from Hardaway. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. The shot's good. Now it's just a 3-point Suns lead.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
To the inside. Here's Chris. And that one is hammered home.
Now, there are times Bledsoe can get a little helter-skelter, but right on point with that pass.
They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, shot A comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operation.
Here's Calderon. Here's Millsap. And that's not going to go. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Suns lead by 5. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Mike Budenholzer. Coach, probably not the defensive effort you were hoping for thus far.
Yeah, no, our defense isn't where it needs to be. I think they're getting open looks. We're overshifting, and then we're not committing to shooters. Just not a very good defensive effort so far.
Mike, thanks very much for your time. Kevin, back to you.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here once again, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you back to the halftime show on 2K Sports. For the Suns, the first quarter was pretty even. They kept at it on both ends of the floor, and at the end of the period, they had a slight deficit of 3 points. They asserted themselves nicely in the second quarter and now have a fairly comfortable 5-point lead here at halftime. Kenny, let's start with you. What did you think about the Suns?
Well, their reserves showed up tonight, not just on hustle plays, but in points. And that's what you got to do coming off the bench to maximize your minutes.
And over to the big fella, your thoughts on the Hawks?
I think it was their passing that's kept them in the game. You can see it in their assist numbers. They were very, very unselfish. The ball moving from side to side, guys making good cuts. It's enabled them to create a lot of chances. As long as they stay on the same page and keep working together, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
That concludes our halftime presentation. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the second half.
The streets around this beautiful arena in downtown Phoenix, the home of the Suns. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. You know, Paul Millsap has been exceptional here, guys.
Yeah, how about that first half? He's already scored more points than he averages on the season.
Well, the defense dared him to shoot, and once he gained a little bit of confidence, he just kept going.
Suns leading by 5. Bledsoe teams up with Booker in the backcourt. Warren is out there with Len, and it's Chris in at the 3, the small forward. So that's who Earl Watson starts the second half with. Now here's Booker. It's deflected. Here's Len. Blanketed by the D. He fights to the rim for the layup. Len's got his team on the board first here in the second half for the Suns. Now here's Bazemore. He's guarded close. Screen by Howard. The feed to Millsap. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Millsap's got 17 now.
And Howard sets such vicious screens. It's like running into a brick wall.
Warren against Millsap. And it's Warren with the jam.
And just tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard.
Well, you watch Earl Watson coaching the Suns team. It's easy to see why they wanted him. He seems to connect really easily with these guys. Great motivator. Will always have this group fighting from start to finish.
Shot clock at 6. And here's Millsap from the arc. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Millsap.
And how about the numbers on Paul Millsap? This last month, he's been positively spectacular. Second in steals, and he sits in the top 15 in points per game. An absolute powerhouse offensively.
Suns leading by 7. Bledsoe outside. And that's a foul. It's called on Tavo Cephalosha. That's foul number 2 for him.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
And the Hawks making a change here. Schroeder's checked in. .90 seconds now into the second half. Now here's Booker. He's covered by Bazemore. A nice shot by Booker. And with Watson the coach, not only is he a great motivator, but he also knows how to develop all the young players on the roster.
Well, I think, Kevin, initially Watson was brought in to help with player development, and that's the exact kind of background you want right now if you're the Suns. And first and foremost, Watson brings leadership to this ball club.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
No, and it looked like he got a bit ahead of himself and just couldn't pull back.
Plan a screen. Passes it to Chris. Pulls up. High post. They get the rebound. Here's Booker. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
The 13th pick of the 2015 NBA draft. Booker has already shown all-star potential.
Well, Devin Booker was named, Doris, as one of the USA Select players this past summer. He's a good young player.
And don't be fooled into thinking this is just getting named to the practice squad. A lot of all-stars got their start by playing on the USA Select team. I won't be surprised if Mr. Booker is representing his country in international competition in short order.
Jared Dudley's checked in for the Suns. Good on both. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Screen by Howard. Bledsoe against Schroeder. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And here is the shot chart as we see how things are going.
And the three-point game stands out as a major sore spot. It just has not been falling for him. I think at this point you start to get away from that shot. Try to engage in other parts of the offense. You don't want to hurt your team if that long ball isn't there.
That free throw good from Hardaway. And for the Phoenix Suns, it feels like there have been chemistry concerns, Doris, in recent years. Why is that?
You know, Kevin, I think something like that's hard to pinpoint. It just seems like something is off, right? So much of winning in the NBA is about culture. And it's tough to win when people aren't on the same page. For this franchise to turn it around, that's got to change.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. Suns leading by 9. Bledsoe outside. Shoots from the baseline. The shot comes out.
The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his feel for the shot.
What a brutal stretch for him, just trying to work his way out of it, which is harder than it sounds.
And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
It's stolen by Schroeder. Oh, and a fast break for Atlanta. From 15 feet away, here's Hardaway. And now we go to the 2K leaderboard. What a season it's been for these teams on the offensive glass. Number 5, the Hawks.
You know what? Sometimes their missed shots are their best offense. I mean, they attack the glass relentlessly, and those extra possessions can determine the outcome on a lot of nights.
That free throw good from Hardaway. Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for the Hawks. Hardaway hits them both. Suns leading by 7. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, as always, the Atlanta Hawks run that fluid offensive system that is widely admired. You know, Steve Kerr, our old friend, used to say they get to the next level of their offense. You take away the first option, they automatically get to the second. You take that one, they automatically and fluidly get to the third option. And very few teams do that. Kevin?
Passing and shooting, D.A., that's what it's all about. Thank you. Now here's Bledsoe. He's got 10. And the Suns miss again.
Well, you can't buy a bucket. Shut out completely so far, and yet they're still ahead.
Offensive rebound. And that one's good. Millsap. The Suns have gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. Barbosa passes to Chandler. Now here is Barbosa. Looking for his first basket still in this one. And he feeds it to Warren. Just 5 on the clock. Launches it. The shot, no good. Great D that time from Hardaway. No good. And Phoenix will come the other way. They've led by as many as 11 points. Chandler, and a dunk by Chandler.
Well, huge wingspan, even for that center position. Chandler can throw it down from really anywhere within a few feet of the rim.
Here's Dunleavy. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Muscala dishes to Dunleavy. Kicks it to Hardaway. The Hawks working the ball around. Cranes the three-pointer. Muscala's got 9 points.
Oh, he's devastating from distance. Feathery touch, has the height to shoot over everyone.
Bledsoe kicks to Warren. It's tipped. Trying to find Bledsoe. Gets it to him. And the shot by Warren, no good.
He's been off and on tonight, and that one didn't fall for him, but they still hold the advantage in this one.
Schroeder passes to Hardaway. Back to Schroeder. There's the dish to Millsap. Yep, it goes in, and the Suns' lead is cut down to just 2 points on the bucket from Schroeder.
And when they desperately needed to get things turned around, they were able to rally and get back into it.
You know, they found a way to compose themselves on both ends of the floor, and that's what's really powered this run.
Now here's Bledsoe. He's got 10. Warren dishes to Bledsoe. No good on the shot. So the Hawks will take it the other way. Schroeder kicks to Hardaway. Feeds it to Dunleavy. And it's Hardaway atop the key. He dishes it to Dunleavy. And there's the pass to Millsap. Out of bounds, Phoenix will take possession.
A moment now to see the numbers for Eric Bledsoe. He's putting up about 14 points tonight, 8 assists, and 2 rebounds. And while the numbers are decent, I really feel like he can do more.
Timeout called, the Suns.
You know, I think he just wants to tinker with the game plan a little bit, and I think that's a wise timeout.
You know, it gives you a chance to calm your guys down. Let them know what opportunities you see from the sideline.
Phoenix making some changes. Bender comes in for Warren. And Knight subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. Atlanta also making some changes here. Ilyasova comes in for Paul Millsap. And it's Calderon in for Tim Hardaway Jr. Barbosa kicks to Knight. Now Barbosa still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
For the tie. Bender with the rebound.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
Barbosa passes to Knight. He kicks to Bender. And the Suns miss again. And it's the Hawks' ball. Big run right now going for him, 11-2. There's a good screen. Ilyasova sets a screen for Schroeder. No good. That would have tied it.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
And stolen by Ilyasova. Here's Muscala. He nails it, and we're tied up. Muscala's got 11.
Boy, can he finish in the paint. That's one thing we know he's good at.
Chandler is screen. Knight picks to Barbosa. Here's Bender. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And while we got a chance, let's look at some numbers for Chandler. 7th in field goal percentage, and he's among the top 15 in rebounding. Just a powerful presence in the paint. And Dragan Bender, playing professionally in Europe from his mid-teens, never intimidated. He plays with a motor and an aggression that you love to see.
Free throw good, Bender. And Bender standing 7'1" with a 9'3" standing reach. He has the length to play center, but he still has to get stronger.
Well, you have to remember, he didn't turn 19 until just before the start of the season. He'll add muscle over time, but for right now, he has the mobility and skill to play forward.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And Bender's one of those guys just oozing with potential. A big man who runs the floor well and uses his size down close to the basket.
Calderon dishes to Schroeder. Ilyasova is screen on Knight. Schroeder passes to Muscala. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got 4 assists in the game. Phoenix has gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. Barbosa against Calderon. That one drops for him. Dudley's got his second bucket of the game to go. The Hawks trailing. And here's Calderon. 5 points in the game. Pass to Muscala. Shooter kicks to Muscala. And that misses. That would have put him up.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play. Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for Dennis Schroeder. On the free throw, no good.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Calderon with him. He's playing a pretty big role for him at the offensive end, averaging about 12.5 points a game.
That's a complete effort. Stuck with his man, gets his hand up, and then he doesn't hesitate to finish the possession with the rebounding job.
A nice shot by Knight.
He loves to surprise the defense with a quick pull-up jumper. Knight's a very difficult guy to stick.
Now here is Sefolosha. Not a lot of room. Dishes to Muscala. Pocket 6. Sefolosha passes to Muscala. From deep, Ilyasova. Another miss by Ilyasova. Phoenix leading by 6. This offense has really been clicking.
And they know it, guys. They're playing right now with the kind of energy that is hard to deal with. Oh, great ball movement there.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Calderon kicks to Ilyasova. Sefolosha dishes to Dunley. Ilyasova inside the line. That one off the back iron and out.
And if you're looking for the main reason that they're trailing in this game, well, look no further than his shooting. I mean, he has hit exactly 0% of his shots.
Dudley, no luck. The Hawks trail by 9 to end the run. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It goes on Brandon Knight. The Hawks have been at their finest 4 at the free throw line tonight. 8 attempts, 8 makes.
Two shots.
Free throw drops for Dunleavy.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
Phoenix making some changes. Alex Lenz checked in for Chandler. Chris comes in for Jared Dudley. And it's Booker in for Leandro Barbosa. And a change for the Hawks. Howard's checked in. Suns leading by 7. Outside Knight. Booker outside. Pass to Len. Suns moving the ball around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Bender. Hits the front of the rim and out. The Hawks trail by 7. And there's the feed to Ilyasova. The 3. Out of bounds. Phoenix will take possession. In a moment now to see nice three-point percentage numbers on this list. A look at the leaderboard showing us the most accurate three-point shooting 2 men in the league. Devin Booker, number 1.
He just oozes with confidence out there beyond the arc. That's where he makes his living, as he should. I mean, given how efficient he's been from long range.
Here's Chris. Knight for 3. Rebound by the Hawks. Howard's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. And the Hawks making a change here. Bazemore's checked in. Atlanta's gotten 1 of 6 three-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. And fouled hard that time. They'll get to the line and shoot 2. The Hawks haven't made a mistake at the line yet. 10 of 10. And he makes the first. He hits both from the stripe. Here's Knight. 7 points in the game. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Passes it to Len. It's stolen by Calderon. And here we go. Calderon heading to the hoop. And he makes that one. Calderon's got 7 points in the game.
Well, the activity of Calderon defensively yielding dividends that time with the quick hitter in transition.
Now here's Booker. Outside Knight with 1 on the clock, and he nails the jumper. Knight's got 4 this quarter.
Well, the pick didn't exactly neutralize the defender, but good concentration on the finish to still get the basket.
And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Phoenix ahead, up 5. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the 4th quarter. Let's listen in on what Mike Budenholzer had to say to his team in the huddle.
Let's get a stop. Let's play out of motion. Let's run them. Let's play at our pace. Let's go. Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Looking to play at their tempo. Mike Budenholzer really wants them to assert themselves, trying to dominate this next stretch.
Yeah, I mean, his energy is up there, hoping his team's energy is just as high. They may push every chance they get.
And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter, and if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. Fourth quarter on the court for the Hawks. Schroeder and Bazemore pair up at the point and off-guard spots. Howard is out there with Ilyasova, and it's Cephalosha in at the 3. Knight kicks to Booker, to the middle. Here's Bender, and that's off the glass and in. Bender's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Suns.
And Bender is certainly a work in progress down there, but when he gets good position, he uses his body well to get the shot he wants.
Now here's Schroeder. He feeds it to Cephalosha. Lock at 6. Here's Howard. Again, Howard missing. Suns leading by 7. Booker the pass to Knight. And Booker kicks to Knight. Again, the miss by Knight. The Hawks have gone 0 of 3 to start the fourth quarter. Now here is Cephalosha. He's covered closely. Kicks to Bazemore. Schroeder dishes to Howard. Feeds to Ilyasova. Atlanta again missing.
Just a case of doing too much. He has to look to get his teammates involved, and his shot's just not there right now.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
And here's Cephalosha for 3. And Howard with the second chance points.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Now here's Knight. There's the pick. Here's Booker. Bazemore grabs the miss. Bazemore's got his 3rd rebound tonight. From 10 feet out. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Suns leading by 3. Bender the pass to Len, to the wing right side. Bender with a wide open look. Phoenix no good that time either. The Hawks have gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. Schroeder, it counts, and the foul. It goes on Brandon Knight.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
Warren's checked in for the Suns. Eric Bledsoe comes in for Knight. Atlanta also making some changes here. Paul Millsap is checked in for Ilyasova. And Tim Hardaway Jr. subbed in for Thabo Cephalosha. Now here's Bledsoe. The dish to Booker. Back to Bledsoe. It's rebounded by Schroeder. The Hawks have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter to take the lead. A putback. Here's Millsap. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. He's off on the first.
And you look at Paul Millsap, one of the hardest workers in the league. You see it in how much he's added to his game over the course of his career.
Jared Dudley's checked in for Chris. One is no good. And you talk about how hard Millsap works. You need that motive to be a star power forward at 6'8".
Yeah, on the court, battling bigger players in the weight room over the summer. His love for the game is beyond question.
So it's the Hawks now, after the Suns pick up 2. Here's Howard. The Hawks again can't hit.
Who knows what happened there, but I'm sure the defense is aware they dodged a bullet.
On the wing, Booker. He's covered by Bazemore. Howard with the steal. And that's a foul. called on T.J. Warren. That is his first foul of the game. On defense, the Suns. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. To the paint. And it's slammed in by Howard.
And not a whole lot that D can do. Once Howard is in position for the dunk, he might as well start jogging back the other way.
Len, a screen. Bledsoe kicks to Len. Excellent D from Howard.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
Offensive rebound. Millsap laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Millsap's got 21 in the game.
And you can just see by the way he fought for the putback that he's still got a lot of gas in the tank.
And doing that kind of dirty work down low makes a huge difference in a game this close. What a play on the offensive glass.
Now here's Booker. Rebounded by Hardaway. Hardaway has got 3 rebounds now in this one. He dishes it to Bazemore. Millsap a screen. Bazemore passes to Schroeder. Millsap has the open look. Again, Millsap missing.
He had a make from downtown in the first half, but no threes since then.
Warren dishes to Douglas. Fires from the line. Offensive rebound. Nice work on the boards. Paying off with the basket. 12 points for Eric Bledsoe.
Every now and then, though, Bledsoe sneaks in, gets one off the miss, uses his long arms to his full advantage.
Out to the right wing. Here's Howard. Uses the glass to finish the layup. 20 points for him.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Schroeder against Bledsoe. They set the pick. And Dudley kicks to Booker. And it's good. Fought through contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
How about the ability to adjust after the contact? Booker, the score in the and one.
And Jared Dudley has always been a player who seemingly plays Doris larger than his size.
And it isn't so much that Dudley is a power forward, Kevin. He's only 6'7", but he can give you minutes there and not hurt your team. And with so many teams needing to have a small ball lineup as an option, Dudley allows a coach to make that move if the time calls for it. I mean, the versatility Dudley brings to a rotation is one of the most valuable aspects about having him on your roster.
Now here's Dudley. Nice ball movement by Phoenix. Bledsoe against Schroeder from 12 feet out. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Now it's a 4-point Suns lead. And has gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Back to Howard. Shot from 16. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It goes on Devin Booker.
And really, Howard is so adept at drawing contact, using those bruising shoulders and muscular frame to his advantage. Well, you had the feeling that Dwight Howard was going to move on from Houston this last offseason. Ends up opting out and signing on with his hometown team, the Atlanta Hawks. Got a sizable 3-year deal as well.
He's perfect from the line this time. And for Howard, he was courted by several teams in free agency. Arguably the biggest name at the center spot.
Well, he met with several teams that would have been a good fit, but I think the hometown factor was too hard to pass up with Atlanta. Might be his last big contract in the league. Might as well take it for the team you loved growing up.
Here's Schroeder after Eric Bledsoe's score. Howard with this screen on Bledsoe. Millsap a screen to the inside. Off the pick. And Millsap slams it in.
Fundamentals, guys, using the one-hand slam.
Well, he makes the basics look pretty exceptional. Len sets a screen for Bledsoe. Booker outside. Over in the corner, Dudley. 5 to shoot. Len, and the dunk by Len. That gives him a double-double in this one. 10 points and 17 rebounds.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Yeah, with the score this close, guys, I am shocked at the lack of defensive aggressiveness. That has to be shored up.
Booker in the corner. Plan a screen. The drive by Booker. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. Booker's got 9 points here in the second half. Schroeder kicks it to Bazemore. And there's the pass to Millsap. This is to Howard. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. 24 points for Howard.
Dominating this quarter. He's been absolutely fantastic shooting the ball, and they still trail.
Booker the pass to Bledsoe. Len sets a screen for Bledsoe. It's stolen by Schroeder. That's in, and the Suns' lead is cut down to just 2 points with the bucket from Bazemore.
And we could have been looking at a 2-possession game, but that was a huge mistake on the turnover. Now, nerves becoming a factor.
Now here's Booker. Warren kicks to Dudley. Out of bounds. Suns ball as Phoenix keeps possession.
And really no choice but to lunge for that pass to make sure it didn't get through.
I thought he had it for a second. Barely bounced off his fingertips.
And the Suns making a change here. Chris has checked in. Here's Warren. Bledsoe left side. No good there. Atlanta's gone ice cold from three-point land. 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. Land against Howard. And he hits it to tie the game up. Howard's got 26 points.
Boy, working as hard as he can on the offensive end, and he's willing points for this team.
Bledsoe against Schroeder. Tries from 16. Here's Len. Score the basket. It's number 6 for him this game. 6 for 9, 67% shooting.
And all quarter long, he's been zeroed in and knocks down big shot after big shot here in the fourth.
Now here's Schroeder. Howard dishes to Bazemore. He kicks to Schroeder. Screen by Howard. 5 on the clock. Puts it up. And it's Schroeder missing.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
No, it feels like he's forcing things. Getting a little frustrated by not letting the game come to him.
Booker with it. He's covered by Bazemore. And it's sent back by Millsap. Schroeder, and the go-ahead bucket, no good.
Wow, what a rough second half for him shooting the basketball. Maybe you adopt a pass-first mentality at this point.
That's simply not aggressive enough. Needs to show grit and determination, and didn't on that one.
Pass to Millsap. That one falls. Millsap's got the game tied up here for the Hawks.
I mean, you never expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game.
So, frankly, you shouldn't get them. He is not the player that you want to let beat you. That could be a costly mistake for this team.
Now, here's Bledsoe. Here's Len. Rebound by the Hawks. Millsap's got rebound number 13 with that last one. Schroeder kicks to Millsap. It's tipped. Bledsoe outside. Warren. Yes!
Boy, what a pressure bucket that was.
But he didn't let the pressure affect him one bit. What nerves.
Now Schroeder. Outside Millsap. Stolen by Len. There's Chris. Pass to Bledsoe. 34 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And stolen by Bazemore.
And it's still within reach.
Maybe, but they've got to score every time they touch the ball.
Uncovered. Here's Millsap.
hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
No, I mean, exactly. That's not an easy area for him to operate in with that kind of defensive setup. A nice job to get it up and over the bigger guy.
Here's Bledsoe. It's on.
And I bet you'll never see too many guys who can put forth an effort on the boards like this one.
You know, his production has been unbelievable. Really a testament to how much he cares about his craft.
Oh, and a chance to win the game, but the last second shot is offline. Regulation is ended, and we're heading to overtime. 2K Sports, back to Phoenix after this. And what great competition we're seeing so far. After regulation, the stalemate. And we'll see now how these two teams and these few minutes of basketball pan out. And it's the Suns to start out. And no shortage of excitement here, and we're officially underway in overtime in this game. All fueled up and ready to go to overtime basketball here, brought to us by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for Atlanta, Schroeder and Bazemore pair up at the point and off-guard spots. Paul Millsap out there with Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Ilyasova in at the center, filling out the middle. Booker up top. He's covered by Bazemore. Bledsoe with another miss. Atlanta's shooting under 40% all in all for the game. Stolen by Bledsoe. Len up top from the line. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. Len's got the first points here in the overtime period for the Suns. Bledsoe against Schroeder. Ilyasova is screen on Bledsoe. And here's Schroeder to the inside. Stolen by Warren. Booker the pass to Bledsoe. Booker outside. Millsap with the steal. Pass break. Here we go. Finished off the break. Bazemore's got it all tied up now for the Hawks.
Fast break opportunities do not get any easier than that one off the steal.
Yeah, that's right. Because it comes off the turnover, there's no way for the defense to get back in time.
Now here's Bledsoe. Rebound by the Hawks. Ilyasova's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Schroeder with the ball. Eric Bledsoe covering. Ilyasova hits the bucket. The Suns have gone 1 of 3 from the floor since the start of overtime. Bledsoe outside. Top of the key, Booker. And the shot falls short this time.
And good defense there to play up and get a hand in the face.
Oh, the confidence he exudes, the toughness. He just gets inside shooters' heads.
Now here's Bledsoe. Got a hand on it. Tries it from 9. It's deflected. We're in overtime if you just joined us. 2.5 minutes through it. And Booker kicks to left. And stolen by Ilyasova. Here's Bazemore. And the shot is long.
Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
That's your home. That's the area you simply have to protect.
They get it back. Here's Chris. Plenty of room around him, and it's good.
He is not someone you can sleep on. Otherwise, this is what happens. And
there's the feed to Millsap. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Two shots, gentlemen.
Good on the first, and that gives them the lead. Second one is good, and both at the line, and it's a 2-point ball game.
Boy, what a steady presence at the line. Whether it's a blowout or a tight game like this one, his stroke never varies.
And Bledsoe, here we go, scooped up. Here's Warren. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him. Hawks have gotten off to a little bit of a slow start from the field in overtime. Just 2 of 6 so far. Outside Millsap. To the paint. Layup off the pick. That's good from Ilyasova on the assist by Millsap.
Now that's where you like your shots to come from.
Bledsoe against Schroeder. Bledsoe kicks to Booker. Atlanta with the rebound.
You've got to do better there. There wasn't anyone stopping him in the lane.
Passes to Ilyasova. Millsap left side. No good with the triple. Suns trailing. Bledsoe kicks to left. And the dunk by Lamb.
You know, that's strong teamwork, leading right to the basket. He put it in the shooting pocket at just the right time.
And the free throw is good, now leading by 1.
Hey, great job to get the bucket and to get to the line. When the game's on the line, you want your guys attacking like he did there.
Now here's Millsap. They grab their own miss. And Bazemore kicks it over to Schroeder. But they recover it. Millsap dishes to Ilyasova. Tries yet again. Connects! Here's Bledsoe. So, guys, it comes down to this.
Time for your stars to shine. Oh, boy, to be young again.
Makes you nostalgic, doesn't it? Atlanta calls timeout. They're trailing by 1. 36 seconds left in overtime. Guys, what's your take?
And usually you want to go for the 2-for-1 here to maximize the clock.
The ball. Outside Millsap. And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. So he comes up empty, missing both. What a big possession right here.
No doubt about it, guys. The tension is palpable.
No good from Booker.
Sometimes you just have an off day, and this is one of those games for him.
Atlanta calls timeout. They're losing by 1. 20 seconds left in the first overtime. Here's Atlanta. Shooter kicks to Millsap. Oh, and he misses the dunk. Oh, no good on the dunk. And Dennis Schroeder hits the whistle that time. And so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
First free throw is good, and that will put them up by 2. And he is unable to get the second one. Inside, here's Millsap. It's in! He has tied up this game. Oh, what a shot.
And you know, a player with Calderon's experience is going to be able to find the open man on that play every time.
Here's Bledsoe. Oh, no good there. The potential game winner off the mark. Another tie, and we're going to have a second overtime. And we'll return shortly. And another overtime is in store for us. This one has been extremely tight. Great action all game long. See now if fatigue, guys, plays a factor. That's the question. And so here's Phoenix. To the inside. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Ilyasova. Hardaway for 3. That one doesn't drop. So Phoenix will take it the other way. Bledsoe passes to Warren. 16 feet away. Rebound, Atlanta. Bazemore's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Calderon, and it's sent back by Bledsoe. Here's Booker. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
You know, crafty, that seems to be the word most applied to Booker. Able to get the defense to overreact.
First free throw is good. Howard's checked in for Atlanta. So he gets them both. The Hawks trailing. Calderon kicks to Howard from 13, and that one hits back iron. The Suns shooting 41% for the game. Booker dishes to Lamb. Down low. Chris can't hit.
He doesn't have a polished inside game by any means, but that's an opportunity he should convert.
In the corner, Hardaway with it. And so the ball out of bounds. Howard touched it last. And Phoenix has possession. They've led by as many as 11 points. Here's Booker. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. 18 points for Devin Booker.
Yeah, releasing the ball at its highest point, that allows Booker to drain jumpers over people.
Now here's Bazemore. Now Calderon. 6 on the shot clock. For 3, Millsap kept alive. Here's Howard. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. Howard's got 28 points for the game. The Suns leading. Here is Bledsoe. He feeds it to Booker. Again, the miss by Booker. And here is Hardaway. Calderon kicks to Howard. Good on the shot. Howard's got 4 points this quarter.
And you can see the determination in Howard's eyes. He relishes the opportunity to provide big baskets like that one.
Now here's Bledsoe. To the paint. One kicks to Booker. And stolen by Bazemore. Here's Calderon. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. And the Hawks lead by 2.
You know, he's been so accurate from the floor tonight, really helping them stay ahead.
And Bledsoe, here we go. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. 19 points in the game.
Oh, this guy's such a shrewd, fearless competitor when it counts the most. Bledsoe delivers once again.
Now here's Calderon, screened by Howard. Here's Millsap, and he can't bank that one in. The Suns shooting 41% for the game. Booker left side. Feeds to Warren. Good work defensively by Millsap.
Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
That's your home. That's the area you simply have to protect.
Len grabs the board.
But I love the determination by this. It's simply not there for him right now.
Bledsoe kicks to Booker. Takes the 13-footer. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Booker's got 20.
Does it seem to you guys that this guy, nothing faces him? Booker treats every moment like every other moment. No matter how big, no matter how small.
And that one's good. Millsap.
That's a huge basket. Just taking advantage of the size mismatch and able to drain that mid-range jump shot. Really good basketball.
Now here's Bledsoe. And stolen by Bazemore. And the call will be against Alex Len. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for Jose Calderon. The Hawks shooting has been a little ragged, just 38% from the field. And Bazemore kicks to Millsap. Ring shot on the way. Sinks it.
Yeah, it goes, but that's just not smart basketball. Right now, you need to massage the clock a little bit more. That shot came way too early.
Now here's Bledsoe. Down low, Chris. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. That's on Dwight Howard.
You had a foul to give there, but you'd rather not have it cost your team points.
He doesn't hit the first, and that was the one they really wanted. He's got one more, though. He's able to hit the second one, and that narrows the gap to 1. And the Hawks with possession. They'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see longer possessions from this point on.
Now here's Millsap. Howard. Good.
Yeah, the defense had better watch out. He is starting to feel it.
Guys, a critical time for them in this ballgame.
You got to play mistake-free.
Out of bounds, Atlanta will take possession. Two-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Bazemore passes to Sefolosha. Kicks to Millsap. 6 on the shot clock. Shot from 16. That shot, no good.
And no secret here, guys. They've got to get a 3 if we're going to get yet another overtime.
And so it's the Hawks who come out on top. A double overtime game can really take its toll on the players, and after this one, the officials, the fans, everyone's going to have to take a needed rest.
No doubt. I mean, when you have to dig that deep and play with that much determination to get a win, it was earned, and I tell you what, they've got to feel really good about themselves for fighting through.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks very much. Dwight, coming off of the loss in the last game, what was the difference tonight?
You know, we got a good win tonight coming
from a tough game last night. Started out strong. We just stuck with it. We stayed together, and we got a good win.
And a good performance on the second night of a back-to-back. Thanks, Dwight. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll do it, folks. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now the award-winning Ernie Johnson will take it from here. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports Postgame Show.
Welcome back, friends and neighbors. Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith as we move forward to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul Millsap. I'll tell you what, his season high in points powered everything they did. Clearly, he was the catalyst tonight as they come away with the well-deserved W.
Boom, 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 boom. That's right, Ernie. Instruments. This guy was instrumental tonight in making sure they avoided a second straight loss. They needed somebody to step up tonight, and he was their guy.
What a night this turned out to be for Paul Millsap. He came to life in this ball game. Facing up, attacking off the dribble, his ability to do everything out there brought his team the win tonight.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, for Kevin Harlan, and for the entire 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. I hope you have a wonderful, even beyond wonderful, a spectacular, just great. I mean, see you.
Good night.